I think it's safe to say there have been too many sad moments in the MCU. What is up, everybody? Jimmy here. Welcome to the Multiverse. And today I'm going to attempt something that is not easy. I'm going to attempt to rank the saddest moments in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's right, we are going to go over some tear-jerkers, so get your tissues ready. And you guys can let me know in the comments section a sad moment that did not make the list. Once again, this is my personal list, so yours would obviously probably differ. If you guys enjoy Marvel movies, drop a like, and well, let's get into it. At number 10 today, we're going to go with it was sad. All of these moments are sad, but they get way, way more amped up and emotional as we go on. I'm going to go with Groot Sacrifice in Guardians of the Galaxy, the original movie. Groot shielding the Guardians and dying for it. That was a big move. That was huge at the time, and he eventually regrew as baby Groot by the end of the film, and maybe that's what makes it not quite as sad in hindsight looking back. It was still sad. It was a huge sacrifice that he made, but like I said, there is much more emotional roller coaster rides to have as we go through this. At number 9, once again, this was super sad, especially if you connect and you're really close with your mom. Star-Lord's mother's death in the original Guardians of the Galaxy. It was sad for Peter. It was sad for the audience. I mean, sitting there watching his mother pass away right in front of him in the hospital due to cancer, and then being pulled away and whisked off to a new universe with a guy that basically threatened to eat him anytime he did anything bad. It was definitely a sad moment, but I would be lying if I said it stuck with me more than some of the others on this list. At number 8, and I know some of you aren't going to like this, that it's all the way down here, but hear me out. Gamora's death in Infinity War. Sacrificed by her own father for the Soulstone on Vormir. I mean, that came as a complete surprise to Gamora and a lot of the audience, as to get the stone, you must have lost what you love. And then we see Thanos tearing up, showing us despite how evil and bad he is, he did love his daughter, but he was willing to sacrifice her to get his mission done. If you're a Gamora fan, if you're a super Gamora fan, this was probably super brutal. But once again, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Endgame, we get a version of her back, so it kind of takes away from it just a little bit, kind of like with Groot. At number 7, Loki's death in Infinity War. Now, Thanos chokes and snaps Loki's neck basically at the start of the film, and a lot of people were shocked because this happened within the first 5 minutes of Infinity War starting. I mean, they were setting the tone and the precedent to make sure that we knew that Thanos was no joke, and this was just the beginning of what he was going to reap. Now, Loki from 2012 in Endgame escapes with the Space Stone, and that's the plot for the Disney Plus miniseries, the Loki series. So, a third time. It's super sad. In the moment, it was crushing because Loki is a fan favorite anti-hero, but the fact that we know he's still alive, there's another version of him, it kind of softens the blow a little bit when it comes to being sad. At number 6, and this one hit me pretty hard. In the Avengers, the original movie in 2012, Phil Coulson's death. Super fan favorite, everybody knows. Loki stabs him in the back on the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier as he's escaping. And this is the moment that brought the team together. This is the moment that Agent Fury used to bind the Avengers and gave them something to actually go avenge. I mean, the moment where he threw the Captain America playing cards on the table and they had the little blood splatter, even though he kind of did that himself. It was a big pivotal moment in the movie and in the series. At number 5 today, Thanos snapping his fingers in Infinity War. The first time, half the world disappeared. Half the Avengers were gone. Half the population was dusted. Everything is complete misery for the team. Iron Man lost Spider-Man. Cap lost Bucky, Falcon, etc. You guys know. And that's how the movie ended. This was a good one. I know. In Endgame, it all comes fruition and everything works out. But we didn't know that for a long time. This is one where you were emotionally gutted as you walked out of the movie theater. Definitely deserving of a top 5 spot. At number 4, I think it's really hard to rank these as we get to the top. Black Widow's death in Endgame. Sacrificing herself for the Soulstone in 2014 Vormir. I mean, this was crazy. Nat and Clint basically fought each other to see who could sacrifice themselves for the stone. And after saving Hawkeye, she says, "It's okay, let me go." Falling to her death, which really, it hit home for audiences and the Avengers, as she's been in almost every movie. I mean, she started in Iron Man 2 in 2010 and established her way all the way through, going from ruthless assassin with Red in her ledger to someone who was a family member that would kill herself so the rest of her family and the world could live again. This one was pretty brutal. At number 3, Spider-Man's death in Infinity War. Of course, slightly improvised by Tom Holland himself, crying as he dusts away and says, "I don't want to go," or "I don't feel good, Mr. Stark." This one, I don't really cry in movies, and I didn't cry at this one either, but I would be lying to you right now if I said I didn't have a little bit of the gut feelings when this one happened. I mean, part of it was a little bit cheesy. Part of it was funny in a way, if you look back on it, but it was sad. It was an emotional moment. It makes me want to be a fly on the wall when they're doing these scenes together and how much they actually get into them. But definitely a rememberable sad moment. Once again, Spider-Man comes back, so everything's okay. At number 2 today, Tony Stark's snap and death in Endgame. What a heartbreaking sacrifice from Iron Man himself. Using his nanotech MK85 suit, he tricks Thanos, snags all 6 Infinity Stones, and right before he snaps his fingers again as the gauntlet forms, Tony says, "I am Iron Man," before snapping, and then you just get the chill bumps. You get it. I mean, that's his famous line from the very first ending of the Iron Man films, and it was, I don't even know how to explain it. It was an emotional roller coaster. I know it's a movie. I know it's fake. I know it's not real, but it felt real in that moment, and it was the perfect way for Iron Man and Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. to kind of pass the torch. And at number 1 for me today, the saddest moment with the music and the panning of the cameras and everybody being involved, even the kid from Iron Man 3, was Tony Stark's funeral in Endgame. Everybody from the MCU, from Nick Fury to, like I said, the kid, Harley himself from Iron Man 3, all grown up, assembled by the lake to mourn Earth's greatest defender, which, I mean, it was sad. Even sending the arc reactor proving that Tony Stark had a heart out to the water. I mean, come on, the one that Pepper Potts gave him in Iron Man. This was super sad. But then again, my first thought when I was watching this was, this is cool, this is proper, but we never would have gotten here if it wasn't for Natasha. If Black Widow hadn't done what she did, it never would have gotten here. And at the end, we got a little closure with Clint and Scarlet Witch, but still, I think it should have been a combined type funeral. That's just my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think. But there you go. That was our attempt, or my attempt, to rank the saddest moments in the MCU. Let me know where I got it right. Let me know where I got it wrong. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on those post notifications, and I'll see you in the multiverse.
If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out the Multiverse podcast. The link is in the description. We have 2 episodes up. The 3rd episode is going to be released on Sunday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Last week, we talked about the brand new Joker trailer, as well as the doors being closed with the Sony Disney deal regarding Tom Holland's Spider-Man. To watch this week's episode, you guys can go to the link in the description, anchor.fm/multiverse-direct, or we also have iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher links in the description below. Now, before we sign off on this video, do us a favor and go to the comments and let us know what topics you want us to discuss in this week's episode of the Multiverse podcast, as well as any questions you have for the Multiverse team, and it might be featured on this week's episode of the Multiverse podcast. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time, we will see you guys in the Multiverse.